is up, ladies and gentlemen? Twigger here with another High ELO commentary, this time featuring Reginald, who is now actually the coach of Team Solo Mid, but as you all know, during a lot of the Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3, he was the mid laner for Team Solo Mid, but has now stepped down from his role as the mid laner on TSM and has been replaced by Ninjas in Pajamas Bjergsen over from the LCS in Europe. So definitely a big change going for Team Solo Mid, but Reginald, as you can see, is still playing this game, and hopefully we're going to see a really good game coming out of him. He is playing the Kha'zix. I'm very excited to see Reginald on Kha'zix because, as a lot of you know, Reginald was kind of known for being a very aggressive mid laner, making a lot of really early plays, and if he was on the ball during the game, then his team would tend to do well. So I'm excited to see if he's going to have a good game during this time. I'm just going to check my sound, make sure that I'm at the kind of a right level. There we go. And it looks like we have a gank coming down in the bot lane. The Lee Sin does manage to land the slow onto the Karma. Riven is now coming in here. She's going to get that knock up and the stun. Karma's flash was down. It looks like Graves is going to try to pick off the Varus, but another Q landing from Lee Sin. The damage is going to be a little bit too much, and Riven is going to pick up a double kill. Pretty impressive stuff so early in the game for a Riven to get 2 kills. Not the position that Reginald wanted to be in here. But it looks like there was a nice little response there with Pantheon picking a kill up on Mundo. Sadly, Amumu wasn't there early enough to get an assist on that one, but still a win nonetheless. But I'll just kind of quickly talk about kind of the team setups here. Some very interesting picks. Pantheon, of course, being one of them up in the top lane against Mundo, who is currently one of the more overpowered champions in that top lane. So it'll be interesting to see what an unconventional pick can do against currently one of the best. And also kind of a weird pick, Talon in the support role. Not entirely sure what that is about. Yeah, that's all I really know. It looks like he's even going damage, not really building support at all. But we'll probably be able to provide quite a bit of damage for his team. But as you can see on that purple team, all AD damage. So all the blue team really needs to do here is just build up some armor, and in the late game they should be able to win this. But it's all going to be on how these players play the game, and we already have a Riven who has 2 kills and is coming back to lane with a BF sword, so I'm expecting her to pick up another kill pretty damn quickly with that kind of an advantage. But Reginald is a smart player, going for that Tear of the Goddess first, making sure that he can just start stacking that thing up, spam out his abilities, and when he gets that Mirror Mana, be quite a bit stronger. But look at the damage already going down on Graves. Gets a little bit of an engagement on from the Talon and the Varus, and getting down to nearly a quarter of his HP. An insane amount of damage coming out this early in the game from a Varus who went the triple Doran's Blade route rather than going into a larger item. So definitely wants that early to mid-game advantage. But Reginald just going to be spamming out his abilities. Really no big items coming out yet besides that BF sword for the Riven, so can't really talk much about item selection. But I'm just excited to be commentating on a Reginald game, considering that he is kind of out of the main LCS scene, and he's not playing really anymore with his team. But him being the coach, hopefully still has a lot of cool new tactics, and we can see kind of a different play style coming out of him. But for a lot of you who have been watching kind of the Battle of the Atlantic and the promotion tournaments and things like that, we have actually seen Team Solo Mid with their new mid laner go up against some pretty damn good teams, and they are doing incredibly well. Bjergsen is such a talented mid laner, and like, I do hate seeing Reginald step down. I did think he was, but hold on, I'm not going to talk about that. Reginald taking the turret shot, and there's going to be a free kill going for the Riven. Pantheon going to try to take down the Riven, but it is not going to be anywhere near enough. Riven is doing so much damage with that BF sword, so there's another double kill. Riven at 4-0-0. That is a scary thought right there. Pantheon and Reginald just staying a little bit too long, and end up costing them their lives. But as I was just saying previously, it is sad to kind of see Reginald off Team Solo Mid. He was kind of such an integral part of that team. But it looks like, wow, oh my god, Graves is getting dove by the Talon, and the Talon support is going to 1v1 the Graves underneath the turret. Very well done, Talon. And that was, I think, without his ultimate, yeah. So, wow, that Talon support doing some damage. But Reginald being off the team, I think it was probably for the best, kind of like when Hotshot GG stepped down, you know. I think Reginald's time was just kind of done, and there were better mid laners at that point, Bjergsen being one of them that, watching his ability in comparison to Reginald's, I think Bjergsen just had a bit of an edge, very different play style, and you know, it's one of those things. Professional gaming is not a career that's going to last forever. The younger generation comes up. It's a lot of people have said it's a young man's, a young woman's game. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, like, if you're not the top tier, the head of your pack, you're going to be facing people who are the top tier and the head of the pack. So, probably a smart idea for Reginald to step back, put on that coaching role, use his knowledge and in-game experience to really help out Team Solo Mid in the future. But a great flash coming out of the Lee Sin to kick Reginald back, get that kick into Varus. Talon coming in as well. The Lee Sin's Q does land. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Graves is going to try to support him with that smoke screen to slow them down and block that vision. Talon's going to take a couple little pod shots here, but is going to escape pretty much unharmed. So Reginald managing to escape there. Lee Sin definitely trying to pick that one up, but Boots of Mobility being picked up by Lee Sin, kind of a strange item, I would think. It really wants to gank a lot, I guess, really get the mobility and really get in there, but it looks like Pantheon coming in for a gank here. He is going to land onto the Varus, doing a ton of damage. There you go. The Varus is going to go down very quickly. The Talon having to use his ultimate to escape from this one. Pantheon with a great ultimate there, landing it right on the head of Varus. And the only issue with that, one kill, but it could very well be for a turret. Reginald is now going up to that top lane to prevent that turret from going down to the Mundo, and Amumu is covering Reginald in the mid lane. So Reginald going to jump in on this Mundo, but Mundo's going to pop his ultimate, try to get out of that one. A gank going down onto the Riven, and wow, the CC coming out of Pantheon and Amumu is insane. So they had to burn a lot to get that Riven down, but you know, a 4-0 Riven at the time, definitely worth that shutdown bonus to use your ultimate there. Amumu having to use his ultimate as well as his Q, and Pantheon getting that stun down. Riven was stunned for freaking ever on that one. And now Pantheon's making his way up into the top lane. Mundo's ult is down, so Kha'zix and Pantheon should make a meal out of Mundo. Pantheon taking up as many turrets as he can, and there's going to be the kill for Reginald with those Void Spikes. So Pantheon, you know, very fun play there of ganking in the bot lane with his ultimate, walking up to mid lane, well, sorry, picking up a kill in the bot lane with his ultimate, walking up to mid lane and picking up a kill with Amumu, then walking up into the top lane and picking up a kill with Kha'zix. That was just like a walking train wreck happening. That was pretty impressive to see, but that's exactly what you want out of a Pantheon up in that top lane, is to get the roam down. He is a very mobile champion. He provides a ton of CC as well as a lot of damage. So for him to roam lanes and make sure that everybody is kind of in a better scenario now, it's a great teammate right there, I have to say. But it looks like we have the purple team waiting here in the brush. Talon and Varus. The ultimate coming out of Varus onto the Karma. I don't know if she's going to have enough to escape this one. The last auto attack from Varus is going to pick that one up. You can't walk that close to a brush when you don't know that they're in there. I think she was probably just going to try to ward that one, but looks like Pantheon is now going up against the Riven. You might as well send the person who has a little bit more, well, sorry, not CS, but is a little bit more farmed up. The damage coming down. Oh, the flash having to come out of the graves as well. That was going to be a very quick kill. But now Pantheon once again coming down into the bot lane. I don't know if something's going to happen there. Pantheon has now jumped in, but Amumu is ganking the Mundo up in the top lane. He's used his ultimate, and that's going to be a kill, but we also had a kill down in the bot lane on the Pantheon after killing the Talon. So I am just going to rewind this for a second because I do want to see what happens in this bot lane. So Pantheon comes in, ends up stunning the Talon. There's going to be the damage, but oh, it looks like he turned in onto that Varus to try to pick up a kill there, but not quite enough, and Graves was not there to provide the extra little bit of damage. So Pantheon losing his life, but only had 2 kills, so not providing a shutdown bonus to anybody. Lee Sin really wanting to dive that Graves, but taking a little bit too many turret shots, and it's just going to run away from that one. Reginald, meanwhile, up in the top lane, has managed to take down that top turret. So he's now just going to be pushing up in that top lane. Already has a pretty big stack of minions heading towards that second tier turret. Minions will get a little bit of damage, but Reginald's going to use this time to go B, pick himself up some items. Probably has a little bit of gold in his inventory right now. Yeah, 3,900. Wow, nearly 4K that he's going back to. Oh, sorry, that's how much he's made. I'm an idiot, folks. Oh, Twigger, what are you doing? Just come on, pal. So he had a little bit of gold. He did not have 4K in the bank. I would have wondered why the hell he was waiting so long to pick up an item. Like, he's just that ballsy, apparently. But it looks like we have a gank going down onto the Pantheon. He's going to burn his flash. Riven going to flash as well to make sure he gets that stun up. But the ultimate is still available for Riven using that active proc of the ult. And that's going to be a dead Pantheon. So we do now have Reginald, who did not spend 4k gold on his items. Gonna run away from that one. Notice the Lee Sin from throwing out that resonating strike. So just gonna run away. We got 2 BF swords coming out for the purple team on the Riven and on the Varus, with a Tiamat's being completed on the support talent. I didn't think that was gonna be a line I would ever use. But here we are sitting with a support talent with a Tiamat's. We do have the Mundo up in the top lane. He's been shut down quite a bit. I was actually starting to get kind of tired of commentating games with Mundos in the top lane who just dominated. It seemed very easy for Mundo to just dominate any lane counterpart that he was with, and he was always the menace at the end of the game. So it's kind of nice with a little change of pace that Pantheon is doing quite well against him. He's being ganked quite a bit. He has been shut down on items. Managed to keep up pretty decently in farm, but looks like with this action going up in the top lane with that gank on Mundo, the purple team has just used that opportunity to pick up that dragon. Currently sitting at 22.2k to 21k in favor of that purple team. So just under over a 1k gold difference. Really not the biggest difference I've ever seen compared to, well, especially having 2 dragons and being up 2 kills. But it looks like the purple team is going to convert that into the mid lane turret. Definitely a big bonus for them. Lee Sin now coming in. Pantheon taking a lot of damage. Is he not going to get his stun available? He's not going to get his stun off. The Curse of the Sad Money coming out. Managing to land on 3 people, which was a very good ultimate, but not managing to actually pick up anybody. The Karma did go down to the Riven, but it looks like Karma picked up the Lee Sin as well. And now Kha'zix, Reginald is being chased here. While this is all going on, Graves is just sitting in the bot lane, picking up that turret. Don't know if it was necessarily worth it. They might have won that team fight if Graves had been there, but he did take down a turret, so might have been considered worth it in terms of gold. But Riven is now going to try to take down this Graves, but her mobility is going to probably keep her alive in this one, and now this is definitely not good. The flash coming out of the Riven going to turn in onto Kha'zix, but wow, Reginald's burst is going to be enough to take down the Riven. Definitely a worthwhile play with Reginald picking up the double buff here. And they're going to chase the Varus away. Very nice turn, I have to say. Reginald's sitting there, not even with his Brutalizer yet, just sitting with the Muir Mana. Sorry, the Mana Immune. Mana Immune? Yeah, the Mana Immune. You rarely see that item nowadays, I have to say. Like, Kha'zix isn't being played a whole ton, but people seem to be going for more kind of damage-oriented builds on Kha'zix. Rather than that kind of like sustained mana damage. But he's probably going to finish his Brutalizer off fairly soon. But he did stay for a little bit. Going to try to pick up this Varus, who is currently out of mana. The berry has been popped, but a lot of damage coming out from that red buff. And with those that cooldown reduction coming out of the blue, it's going to be a very easy kill for Reginald. And he did manage to, it seems as though, shut down the Varus, so a little bit more money there. Now Talon is catching the Karma out. The support war going down. It is going to be plenty for the Talon to pick up that Karma. Reginald being shut down by the Mundo teleport into the bot lane. Pantheon now coming into this mid lane. I don't know if they're actually going to have enough to pick up the Talon. The Q coming out, the stun going down onto the Riven, the Tiamat's being used from the Pantheon to try to do some damage, but the ultimate proc coming out of the Riven is going to be plenty to kill that Pantheon. The Curse of the Sad Mummy is not yet available, but a very quick burst damage coming out of Graves is going to pick up the Riven. But, oh wow, the Q lands from Mundo, but it does not land for Lee Sin, so they can't follow up on that, that Graves. Or can they? So Lee Sin finally landed his Q, but he's going to flash over into the wall. And a great little combo stunning Lee Sin underneath that turret. The flash coming out of the Amumu as well, trying to get away from that one. The burn is going on him, but it is not going to be enough to kill him. Varus is just trying to provide a little bit of poke. Wanted to probably pick up that Amumu with that piercing arrow, but it is not going to be long enough. So we're now sitting with over a 2k gold lead in favor of that purple team. 14 kills to 10 kills. Reginald now caught in a horrible position. Gonna have to use that jump to try to get away from this one. Manages to dodge the Varus ultimate with a nice little juke. Trying to juke out the Q from Mundo as well, but is not going to be able to. Amumu now coming in, using that Curse of the Sad Money, trapping Mundo under the turret for quite a long period of time, but the ultimate from Talon is going to be enough to pick up the Karma. He's going to get out of that pretty much unscathed. And now here comes Pantheon, going to do a lot of damage and pick up the Mundo. The double buffs from Kha'zix being transferred. Well, actually, it wasn't Kha'zix, because he got picked up previously, but the double buffs being transferred all over the place and now ending up on Pantheon. Amumu going to try to land the Bandit Toss onto Talon, but he is not going to land it. Just too far away. And this has just been quite an action-packed game with people fighting all over the map. And it doesn't look like there's any really objectives available for this blue team to take. They took the all of the outer turrets, all three of the top, the mid, and the bot lanes, and they can't really push in on any of those secondary turrets because their minions are not currently pushing that way. So they're just going to have to farm up and see what they can do, buy a couple items, and hope that they win the next team fight more convincingly. We do have the Last Whisper coming out of Kha'zix, not opting to go for that early Brutalizer, but going for straight large amounts of armor pen. That means he will be able to shred down that Mundo fairly well. But and he's pretty much going to be doing true damage to everybody else. But the thing is, we do have a lot of armor shred, but look at how many Bloodthirsters we have on the purple team's side. 3 Bloodthirsters on Riven, Varus, and Talon. So even if you end up doing a lot of damage to these guys, if you don't burst them down and kill them, they're all going to heal up very, very quickly, and they're going to have a lot of sustain throughout the fights, where you don't have that kind of sustain on the side of Reginald's team. But it looks like we have a lot of pings going down in that mid lane. Riven is just pushing up that second tier turret. Does now have the minions available, but Riven's going to run away from this one, probably assuming that the purple team is going to come. The Lee Sin landing a Q over the wall is going to safeguard over to Varus. The Pantheon used his ultimate to try to get into that Dragon Pit, but he is going to cancel it, so it's going to only put the cooldown on for about 10 seconds, I believe, and then it's going to be back up available. So really not a horrible waste, but probably wanted them to keep fighting there and see if they could pick somebody off in the Dragon Pit. But everybody is now just kind of taking their jungle minions, trying to get as much farm as they can. Pantheon picking up that big golem, even though it was trying to be stolen by Mundo. The Void Spike's coming out of Reginald. They're just trying to poke each other down, but the thing is, you can't really poke down the purple team because of how many Bloodthirsters they have. But here comes the Pantheon ultimate with the Amumu. The flash coming out of the Riven to try to prevent herself from being queued by the Amumu. The Talon coming in using his ultimate, taking everybody fairly low. The Curse of the Sad Mummy is yet to come out, but is it actually going to happen? There it is. That not really going to be overly useful because the Amumu gets taken down so quickly. The Kha'zix almost being taken down. He is going to be taken down by the Varus. And Karma now running for her life on this one. Everybody on the purple team still so healthy. Mundo just going to tank up this turret for his team. And it looks like the Graves ultimate is not going to land. God damn. So Talon is going to be taken down, but the support Talon soloing the Graves with no problems at all. Talon is just pretty much, he's a carry at this point. 4, 2, and 11. He's actually doing better than the top lane carry of Pantheon at 4, 5, and 4. And he's even managed to get 56 CS. So it's just, how do you deal with a support who can pretty much take any one of your teammates? It's definitely a scary thing to think of, but I definitely do not recommend going support Talon in this kind of a build. The last thing I want to see is people in my division going these really kind of attempted carry supports. But this is a very high ELO, guys. This is up in Diamond 1. So these guys know what they're doing. They like trying new things because they have played more games than I could possibly count. So I would probably be trying some pretty random things like support Talon as well. But while all this is going on, Lee Sin is going back to base right now, but the blue team has started off a Baron, and currently it's only Mundo and Riven trying to prevent this one. They might be able to pick up the Mundo here. His ultimate is not yet up. So he's running away from this one, but look at the damage coming out of the Riven and the Talon. They're pretty much just going to duo this team while Mundo is tanking up the damage. Talon now chasing down the Graves. The Void Spike's coming out to try to slow everybody down, but the Mantra proc. Oh, what a great piercing arrow, going to go over and kill the Graves. The Mantra proc of the Q from Karma was not going to hit the Talon to pick that one up. So he's going to walk out of there pretty low on HP, but it was a great little play from the purple team, stopping the blue team from getting a sneaky Baron in there. And really kind of, I want to say bluffing, but it really wasn't because it worked out for them. But they were only going in there with a quarter HP Mundo, a Riven, and a support Talon. And against 5 people, but the flash coming out of the Lee Sin, the Varus ultimate gonna land, and Lee Sin, sorry, I nearly choked and died there. But we now have a Pantheon coming in here. The Sun gonna land, the Q gonna land from Karma. Very easy kill, and now Mundo coming in, but both of his teammates are dead, so Mundo's got himself in a bit of a precarious situation here. The barrier being used by, well, not a barrier, the shield coming out of Karma, but it looks like Mundo might lose his life as well. A great flash dodging the ultimate out of Graves, and Mundo's movement speed might actually be able to carry him away from this one. Amumu's going to have to land a pretty clutch bandit shots if they're going to want to pick this guy up. But the juke's now coming out of Mundo. He might just be trying to buy some time for his teammate Riven to get in here. And Mundo is now going to go in onto this Karma, going to run away, allow Riven to come in, but the Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to be enough to pick up Mundo. But the damage now coming out of Riven might be able to do 2v1 this. Probably going to wait for cooldowns and then turn in. So there's the turn in, the sun landing onto the Graves. Is it going to be enough to pick him up? Look at the damage coming out of Riven. That is going to be plenty of damage. Would have probably picked up the Amumu as well if he had not burned his flash, but luckily that was available for him. So that's going to be another kill. Well, was it 3 kills, I think, going onto the Riven? I believe it was 3 kills. I think she picked up the Karma as well. Well, sorry, 2 kills because the Amumu did not die. So it was a double kill going for that Riven. And I don't know how you deal with a 12-4-1 Riven. I would not want to be in that position because Riven is just one of those champions that if you get her rolling and she starts snowballing, it is very difficult to deal with her. She is quite tanky. She has a nice cooldown on her shield. She provides a ton of utility with her stun. Her ultimate does an insane amount of damage. And look at that. Here we go with the Talon, not even having to use his ultimate to pick up the top laner for this blue team. Reginald now being taken down a little bit by this Mundo. Going to have to try to jump away from this one. He is going to miss the Mundo cleaver there and prevent the slow going onto Kha'zix, so he might be able to get away from this one, but currently bringing Mundo on a merry chase. But it looks like we have Lee Sin and Riven coming in to try to kill Reginald here. Reginald going to use his ultimate to try to escape this one. The Q landing from the Mundo going to slow him down. There's going to be the Q, and there's going to be an in-air kill by Lee Sin when Kha'zix was jumping right into the, well, the foot, I guess, of Lee Sin. But that's going to be a free kill up in that top lane. They didn't manage to take down that second tier turret. The ultimate being used by Riven to try to chase this one down. Talon doing a lot of damage to the Karma. There's going to be the ultimate coming out of Riven, but Talon is going to be the one picking up that kill. 7-2 and 13. He's got a Last Whisper. He's got his Bloodthirster. He's got a Tiamat. Oh man, I don't know how you deal with this team because it's now at this point, at the beginning of the game, when you saw the enemy team, you realized that you could just build a lot of armor and probably come out alright in this game. You just wait a little bit for the late game to use your team's utility and CC. But at this point, with everybody with their Bloodthirsters, the amount of armor pen on these guys, no amount of armor is going to save them from this. But Pantheon coming in, probably going to try to steal the Baron here. The purple team did manage to smite the Baron. Not enough damage coming out of that blue team. The Amumu smite was just a little bit off there. Very well composed Lee Sin managing to get that smite, even though Pantheon was coming in and Amumu coming in with the Graves ultimate added onto that. So very nice play on the purple team side, picking themselves up a Baron, not losing any teammates in the process, but managing to kill 3 members of that blue team. And now they are just going to push up into the mid lane, take down that inhibitor turret, and then subsequently take down that inhibitor. Riven trying to use her broken wings to get over that wall, but managing to fail that one. It looks like the purple team is now just having fun playing the game, chase the Reginald. Who's going to be the one to squash the bug here? My money is on Riven. Yep, there you go. So Riven is going to kill Kha'zix, and while all this is going on, Varus and Talon with him. Oh my god, the damage. Is the bleed going to be enough? The bleed is going to be enough. Wow. So it's just, yeah, you can't even face this right now. Talon in himself looks like he's been in the mid lane the entire time and just had a little bit of a harder time getting some CS. That's how far ahead he is. And that's going to turn into a second inhibitor for this purple team. So the mid lane inhibitor and the top lane inhibitor is going down. It's just the bot lane left for this blue team. I don't really think you can come back from this one when you're sitting at a 56.9k to 40.7k. Like, it's just 17,000 gold in the lead. It's that's a big difference. 35 kills to 16 is also incredibly demoralizing to look at. When you look down your scores, and it's kind of unfortunate in that. Oh, but look at that. We finally have maybe a kill. It is not even going to be a kill. The clutch flash coming out of that Talon, getting over that wall and preventing the Pantheon and the Kha'zix from killing him. But you just look down at the scores and you're seeing 4 kills on Pantheon, 3 on Amumu, 4 on Kha'zix, 3 on Graves. It's one of those things that, you know what, the kills have been spread very nicely on the blue team, but they just have not been able to deal with the fed Riven so early. And some pretty clutch ganks, but it looks like we have a flank going on here. Mundo getting in with the Riven coming from the other side. Mundo going to not use his ultimate because it is not available, but there's the flash coming out of Mundo. Getting that Randowin's Omen out to slow down the Pantheon, using his ultimate now to gain some speed. Lee Sin getting a clutch Q while Pantheon flies over the wall with his flash, and Graves is going to be picked up as well. Riven picking up a double kill. Lee Sin picking up the Pantheon. I think this is probably going to be nearly GG here. It looks like Karma is just kind of rage quit and is sitting in the base, probably waiting AFK. Because I don't know how you deal with a 16-4-4 Riven. It's just a disgusting amount of damage that Riven is putting out. Amumu going to try to make his last stand at this turret. He does have Curse of the Sad Mummy available. Could this be the quadra kill that we've all been waiting for? Probably not. But maybe? Nothing is impossible, Amumu. Nothing is impossible. Look at that. Juking the Varus ultimate like a god. Quick little juke. The inhibitor going down, but that doesn't matter. The blue team is ready for this fight. Riven taking a lot of damage. Amumu going to get in here. Is he going to throw out his Q? Not quite yet. He is waiting. He is a master of deception. He is going to wait for the perfect opportunity to land that Q. Get a 5-person Curse of the Sad Mummy, and everything is going to work out for this blue team, I think. Lee Sin taking a lot of damage. He's going to take it down. The Curse of the Sad Mummy landing on the Varus and the Riven, the two clutch targets. But then, oh my god! Oh my god! What the hell was that? I have to watch that again. What a pentakill at the end of the game. That Talon ultimate was so clutch with the Riven ultimate. So here we go. The Q landing on the Lee Sin, the Riven ultimate coming down, and here comes Talon. The Amumu landing in. Everybody's all grouped up. The Amumu ultimate coming up, and here comes Talon. The ultimate coming down. The pentakill for the Talon. Holy shit, what a way to end this game. That support Talon getting that pentakill, dominating the team with that ultimate. That was such a sweet way to end that game. So clutch. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I definitely enjoyed commentating. What a fun game that was, and that was some pretty epic stuff. Mundo ended up coming back a bit. Riven and Talon have an amazing game, so sorry about that. Reginald got a little bit crushed in this game, but you know, there's always next game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one, and I will see you guys in the next High ELO commentary.